Good afternoon, America. This is the afternoon briefing. I'm Erick Erickson. Today is Wednesday, May 21st, 2025. Let's begin. A deportation flight from the United States to South Sudan has touched off yet another round of legal and moral combat between the Trump administration, activist groups, and a judiciary increasingly comfortable stretching its reach beyond the Constitution's intent. The controversy? Federal immigration agents deported several Asian illegal aliens with criminal records to South Sudan, a country racked by war and instability. Activists claim some of them were wrongly removed and now want the government to bring them back. A judge has gone so far as to consider compelling the Department of Homeland Security to make efforts to return them to the United States. Now, let's call this what it is. It is insanity masquerading as compassion. These are not Sunday school volunteers we're talking about. At least one individual had documented gang affiliations. Department of Homeland Security claims it followed standard removal procedure, but apparently the court's feelings outweigh national security policy, and every activist lawsuit gets its day and its say in court. When federal judges start dictating deportation policy, compelling international diplomatic maneuvers, and rewriting the operational priorities of ICE, we have a crisis, not of compassion, but of the Constitution brought on by the judges, not the Trump administration. Concurrently, and in fairness, the Trump administration did provide less than 24 hours notice and seemingly violated a court order. The judge is considering criminal contempt against the federal employees involved and is seeking, if the plane is still in the air, to have it turned around. Next up, it's not just planes flying through the sky to South Sudan, it's political innuendo thick as jet fuel. A new report reveals that Qatar purchased a jumbo 747, formerly part of their royal fleet, and has now gifted it to Donald Trump. The Pentagon has formally accepted it. It's been dubbed a new Air Force One, in certain corners, a sort of Trump Force One for 2025 and beyond. Democrats and their media allies are hyperventilating, of course. Foreign influence, they're screaming, undue enrichment, bribery. Here's the reality. Qatar has been investing in U.S. businesses, infrastructure, and real estate. The plane wasn't a shady backroom deal. It's part of a larger strategy by Qatar to deepen its economic and political ties to the United States. But Qatar is a nation that funds the murder of American citizens, and the president should not fly on a plane purchased with the same money used to murder Americans. It's a bad look, and the president should know better. Now we turn to Capitol Hill, where the GOP's efforts to revise and extend President Trump's signature 2017 tax cut are running into resistance this afternoon from their own side. Republicans are divided, not over whether tax cuts are good, but over how to pay for them. Some fiscal hawks worry the revised plan would deepen the deficit by trillions over a decade. Others argue that the economic growth unleashed by permanent cuts would outweigh short-term revenue losses. After the 2017 tax reform, GDP surged, unemployment dropped to historic lows, and revenue actually increased. Why? Because when Americans and businesses are unshackled from punitive taxes, they invest, spend, and grow. The left wants to paint this as tax breaks for the rich, but you know who gets the hardest hit when tax rates climb? Working-class employees. Their jobs, their bonuses, and their paychecks are on the line. We must also confront a deeper truth, though. If Republicans can't unify behind tax reform, what hope do we have for fighting even the bigger fiscal battles ahead, like Social Security, Medicaid insolvency, entitlement reform? If Republicans can't kill Joe Biden's Green New Deal after failing to kill Obamacare, what good is the GOP? It's a painful truth that conservatives in the House are still standing up to fight for fiscal sanity, while a lot of people who call themselves MAGA claim they'll fight and then too easily cave and get mad at the conservatives for still standing on principle. Well, now we have to move to Treasury bonds surging and the debt bomb ticking louder. The final story, it's getting less coverage than it deserves. The Treasury Department just held an auction of 20-year bonds, and it didn't go well. Weak demand forced yields higher, spooking markets and pushing the cost of government borrowing up. Translation, investors aren't so sure the United States is a safe bet anymore. That's not hyperbole, it's the canary in the coal mine. High yields mean we're going to pay more in interest on our $34 trillion national debt. Think about it. Every single uptick in rates means hundreds of billions of dollars in additional costs. Interest is now the fastest growing part of the national budget, not Social Security, not Medicare, interest. And yet Congress continues to spend like a trust fund baby with someone else's credit card. The auction debacle should be a wake-up call. It tells us that markets are no longer convinced Washington will get its fiscal house in order. And if investors lose confidence in our ability to repay debt, the entire house of cards is going to collapse. We need to bring back real fiscal conservatism, not the lip service kind. That means serious entitlement reform and an audit of every bloated agency in Washington and a balanced budget. Now, here's the good news. The American people are waking up. They know inflation didn't fall from the sky. It was caused by bad policy. They know reckless borrowing doesn't just stimulate the economy, it strangles it. And maybe, just maybe, if enough voters demand accountability, we can change the course before it's too late. Our institutions now bend towards emotion, not reason. Our politicians fear headlines more than history. But the silent majority, the people who go to work, raise families, pay taxes, and pray for the country, they haven't lost their way. They just need a voice out there. This has been the Afternoon Briefing. I'm Erick Erickson. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, like this, and share it. That helps us grow our reach.